On a quiet summer night in the small, peaceful town of Cheshire, Connecticut, a family prepared for bed, unaware that their home, their sanctuary, was about to become a scene of unspeakable terror. By sunrise, only one member of the Petit family would be alive. This is not just a story of crime, it's a story of survival, of the worst kind of evil, and the haunting silence left behind by those who were taken too soon. This is the story of the Cheshire home invasion murders, a case so horrifying, it shook the nation to its core. Before we dive in, please consider subscribing to True Crime Hub for weekly deep dives into the most haunting and mysterious cases from around the world. Don't forget to like the video and hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Now, let's take a chilling look into what really happened on July 23, 2007. The Petit family seemed to have it all. Dr. William Petit was a respected physician in the community. His wife, Jennifer Hawke-Petit, a gentle, kind-hearted nurse. They had two daughters, 17-year-old Hayley, a brilliant student and talented athlete, and 11-year-old Michaela, full of light, who loved cooking with her mom. They lived in an upper-middle-class neighborhood, the kind where doors were rarely locked and children rode their bikes freely. But on that fateful night, the bubble of safety would shatter forever. July 22, 2007, 7 p.m. The day was ordinary. The Petits had gone about their routine. Dr. Petit played golf, Jennifer and Michaela went to the local supermarket to pick up dinner ingredients. It's at that moment that evil noticed them. 11 p.m., two men, Stephen Hayes and Joshua Komisarjevsky, drove into Cheshire. The pair had met at a halfway house and decided to commit what they thought would be a quick home invasion. Joshua, who had followed the mother and daughter home from the store, selected the Petits as targets. 3 a.m., under cover of night, the two men broke into the Petit home. Komisarjevsky silently entered through the basement using a baseball bat. He found Dr. Petit asleep on the couch. Without warning, he bludgeoned him and tied him up in the basement. 5 a.m., the attackers took control of the household. Jennifer and her two daughters were tied up in their respective rooms. The horror was just beginning. While the family was held hostage for hours, Hayes and Komisarjevsky discussed how to get more money. 7 a.m., they discovered Jennifer had a bank account. Hayes forced her to go to the bank to withdraw $15,000 while threatening the lives of her family. She calmly walked into the bank and, though terrified, managed to alert the teller by slipping a note. "My family is being held hostage." The teller acted quickly, contacting police. But tragically, protocol delayed intervention. 9:30 a.m., back at the house, after Jennifer returned with the money, the situation escalated violently. What happened next was brutal, and while we won't go into graphic detail, both Hayes and Komisarjevsky committed atrocities that would haunt the state of Connecticut for years. 10 a.m., the home was doused in gasoline. A fire was set. As the house went up in flames, Hayes and Komisarjevsky attempted to escape in the Petits family car. But they didn't get far. Police, who had been staking out the home, intercepted them as smoke rose behind them. Inside the burning house, firefighters discovered a scene of heartbreaking devastation. Jennifer, Hayley, and Michaela were gone. Only one person survived, barely. Miraculously, Dr. William Petit escaped. Despite being tied and severely beaten, he managed to free himself and crawl to a neighbor's house, his body battered, his soul shattered. His survival was both a blessing and a burden. He had to live with the knowledge of what had happened, and the guilt of being the only one left. Over time, he would become a powerful voice for justice and victims' rights. But the road was long and painful. Hayes and Komisarjevsky had long criminal records. They were career offenders, supposedly looking for easy money. But this was far more than robbery. This was a sadistic act fueled by control, violence, and unimaginable cruelty. During the trials, the two men turned on each other. Hayes claimed Komisarjevsky orchestrated everything. Komisarjevsky, in turn, blamed Hayes for the escalation. The motive? A combination of greed, hatred, and a total lack of empathy. There was no justification. No explanation could ever make sense of the horror they inflicted. Both men were arrested and eventually convicted of multiple counts of capital felony, murder, sexual assault, and arson. Hayes was sentenced to death in 2010. Komisarjevsky followed in 2011. However, in 2015, Connecticut abolished the death penalty, and their sentences were commuted to life in prison without parole. For many, it felt like justice was incomplete. But for Dr. Petit, it became a mission to make sure his family was never forgotten. He later founded the Petit Family Foundation, supporting education, aid to victims of violence, and efforts to protect women's rights. In a turn no one expected, he eventually found love again, remarried, and became a father once more. Not to replace his lost family, but to keep living in their honor. Though only Dr. Petit survived physically, the emotional survivors of this tragedy span far and wide. The community of Cheshire changed forever. Laws around parole and home security were debated, and Connecticut re-evaluated how they handled violent offenders. The bank employees, the officers who waited outside the home, the neighbors who heard nothing, all carried pieces of the trauma. And for true crime followers and advocates of justice, the question always remains: could it have been prevented? The Cheshire home invasion wasn't just a crime. It was a rupture in the illusion of safety. A reminder that even in the quietest towns, darkness can find a way in. But it also showed us something else. That even in the face of unimaginable loss, there is resilience. There is purpose. There is the will to survive and speak for those who no longer can. If this story moved you, please share this video to honor the memories of Jennifer, Hayley, and Michaela Petit. Let their names be remembered, not as victims, but as cherished lives stolen far too soon. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe to True Crime Hub for more stories like this. Hit the like button, leave your thoughts in the comments, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Stay safe, stay aware, and remember, the truth is often hidden behind closed doors.